Welcome to Stories with Dice. This is Star Trek Magellan, a Star Trek Adventures 2nd Edition actual play podcast. If you're enjoying our actual plays, please subscribe to Stories with Dice so you'll never miss an episode. Don't forget to rate and review us. It really helps others discover the podcast. Follow us on social media to stay updated. You'll find the relevant links in the description of each episode. It is the early 22nd century, 4 years after the founding of the United Federation of Planets, 5 years since the end of the Earth-Romulan War. Starfleet has renewed their mission of peaceful exploration. But something has gone terribly wrong at Cradle Station, a research outpost on the edge of Federation space. The crew is dead, its lead scientist missing. The USS Magellan's mission? Unravel the mystery of Cradle Station and boldly go where no one has gone before. And we're back with episode 10 of Star Trek Magellan. As I was telling our fine players this evening, my prep time got eaten up by an unwanted lizard in my home, so I'll be flying by the mostly seat of my pants. We'll see how it goes. And I believe also, if anyone noticed in the last 2 episodes, we had some audio issues. Those issues have been addressed, and we thank you for your patience. We open on Ensign Dehner in an EV suit. Behind him, the Magellan hangs dark and lifeless, with less than 24 hours of oxygen remaining. He moves over the shattered stern of an NX-class starship, a ghost from the Earth-Romulan War. The impulse deck is torn open, the manifold exposed, tangled in a nest of collapsed trusses and scorched plating. Mr. Dehner, why don't you give me a daring and engineering task? And since you're introducing Dehner, you can also, if you have time, if you've thought about it, you can add a value or talent or what have you to the character, since this is the second time we're bringing him into a scene.
Not thought about any of that, so I will just go with what I've got for the moment and hopefully not die instantly. So, daring engineering.
Your difficulty is 2, and as we mentioned offline, if you're bringing like a random red shirt, we can have an assist for that.
Yeah. Okay. Is this to do with like zero-G spacewalking?
No, this is to do with freeing the manifold from the wreckage without damaging it and also, puncturing your EV suit and all of that fun stuff.
It's fine, so I have no focuses I can bodge to make that relevant. What's the difficulty?
Difficulty is 2.
Okay.
Complication range is up 2.
Okay. 2 things and no momentum. Let's see what happens. That's not great. I think that's only 1 success.
Okay, and did we say that you had a red shirt with you?
Yeah, so I assume I have some threat to have the red shirt around. Nice.
Okay, so that is a success from your assisting red shirt. So you've got the manifold free from the wreckage. This takes some time and some careful maneuvering between the two of you. You've freed the manifold from the wreck, and now you can start to return back to the Magellan.
Does it look in reasonable nick, the manifold?
Yeah, it looks like it's in pretty decent shape. You think you might be able to get it going again once you hook it up.
All right. I will turn back to the ship, and do I see anything on the horizon?
You do. Okay. So you've got that impulse manifold secured. The two of you are starting to move your way back through the debris field toward the Magellan, and you see the Romulan ship has launched a torpedo, and with that, the scene shifts to main engineering on the alternate Magellan. Lieutenant Holtz and Ensign Blank are sort of frozen, paralyzed by the sight of these 2 hulking alien creatures that are phasing in and out of reality. They're towering 10 meters tall. Their insectoid frames twist and contort unnaturally, squeezing through the ship's interior. Around them, bulkheads are warping and rippling, as if the very fabric of the hull is bending to accommodate these creatures. And on the bridge of the Magellan, the alternate Magellan, Lieutenant Commander Maris stands beside Ensign Stiles at the tactical station, and the indicators are flaring across his display that the Romulan vessel is moved, weapons have locked onto the crippled Magellan, and on the main viewer you see a torpedo lancing through the debris field. So essentially the Romulan vessel has... And I don't usually announce when I'm spending threat, but when I do, it's usually in combat situations. So it's spent threat to move, and then it's spent threat to keep the initiative so that it could fire its torpedoes, which I am going to do right now. And it moved from that zone into this zone. So now it's within range of the Magellan. Okay, so that torpedo has missed. So that torpedo flies through the debris field and just slams into a bunch of debris and explodes. And Dehner, your radiation meter goes off the charts when that happens. So that tells you that that torpedo was a nuke. And now the players get to go. So either since your actual Magellan is critically damaged and essentially dead in space, Lieutenant Commander Maris, what do you do?
Who's playing Stiles?
I believe Douglas was playing Stiles.
Yeah, yes, everything comes up to Douglas. I'm responsible for all the failures.
Stiles, do we have phaser capability?
We have phasers and torpedoes, but we don't have shields yet.
There's no point trying to talk to them. They're Romulans. So lock phasers and fire.
So it is control and security for Stiles?
Yes.
Do the shipboard phasers count as a security system?
Yeah, I would say so.
And I got to use a focus. A difficulty 2. Got the complication range up because it's still our Magellan.
Yep, that's true.
Actually, the complication range shouldn't be on that roll, should be on the other one, but I don't think we made it into that. So that is one success so far. Does someone want to roll for alternative Magellan?
The alternate Magellan, there we are. Okay, so weapons and security, yeah?
Yep, and you're rolling 1 die. And a focus applies, so you just select the focus checkbox.
Okay, focus 2 dice. And complication range?
One die.
Sorry, complication range?
That one will be 3.
3.
Okay, I'll change that to 3. Okay, great, here we go.
Very nice.
I was so
nice.
close to a 20, the animation was just like wobble wobble on my screen.
So you have a momentum from that attack.
Excellent.
Is that an automatic damage of 5 and then it resists with shields?
You deduct from the ship's resistance and then shields.
It's one momentum. Like, we're going to lose it next time the scene goes, so we might as well spend it within this scene.
Yeah.
Makes
sense.
So bump the damage then.
So your phase cannons slam into the Romulan shields. It seems like it took the brunt of that pretty well. So the initiative goes back to the Romulans, and they will once again fire on the crippled Magellan.
Obviously, they don't like the crippled Magellan.
They don't like the crippled Magellan, yeah.
They are predators, so, pick on the target.
Pick on the weakest one.
They've fired another torpedo, and it has gone wide once again. And now, Mr. Dehner.
Sure wouldn't want to be in space with that missile fire going on.
Actually, no. Main engineering with Holtz.
I do believe I did the last time.
You did?
So we left off.
You did the check off. So you're at this console over here, and Blank is at this other console here. These two enormous creatures are phasing in and out of reality, and you're just kind of frozen there for a moment. Give me another, I think it's control and security.
Sounds familiar. It was the last thing I had, yes. Let's do that. What would you like me to do? I've got no focuses I can use. It's just a straight roll. Complication range 1 is default. What do you want?
Yep, correct.
More? Yep. Okay. Let's try this. God. 0 successes. Happy days. And so, apparently having a break between sessions does not mean that I can roll better.
Right. Tony, do you want to play Henry Blank for a moment? Can you roll for him control and security, please?
Yeah, like that.
Okay. So
2 successes.
You are able to take an action. What do you do?
These creatures are looking threatening, right?
Yeah, and they're like phasing in and out of your reality. So they look transparent, like they're not completely, they're not solid yet in your universe.
I'm gonna put it to non-lethal, the phaser, and shoot. So that would be control and security. And then can I use my does my focus do anything?
What was it?
Yes, hand phaser, so I can use my focus, I guess, right? So there you go. 2 successes.
Beam from your phase pistol meets the alien with a hiss, like water on coals. Nothing happens to the creature.
Sounds like high resistance.
No, that sounds like taking one thread from the pool.
So the two of you now hear this voice sort of echoing through main engineering, and it's the voice of Dr. Korby, but you're not sure where exactly it's coming from. The scientists of Project Cradle are dead. Soon, I will be too. If you are hearing this, destroy my research. Project Cradle never happened. Do you understand? There are beings that exist only when observed. We learned too late that observation is invitation. To see them is to invite them in. Look to Perseus. Sometimes the old stories are all that stand between us and oblivion. And then the voice fades.
I so want to do something with Sarah, but I cannot.
Now, Mr. Dehner, you're still in your EV suit, you and your red shirt, still hauling that impulse manifold back to the Magellan. You see that first Romulan torpedo streak past. It's like this fiery blur that detonates just off the port nacelle. The blast jolts the ship, shaking it a little bit, but it didn't hit. There's no, visible damage. And then a second one shoots past. Again, it misses. And that one, when it explodes, you're thrown sideways by the blast. Your suit alarms are flaring. Your radiation warning goes off, and you and your red shirt fire your EVA thrusters, to steady yourself. And then space starts to fold inward, and there's this sudden gravitational pull that grabs a hold of you. The stars, the debris field, the Romulan warship, all of it vanishes. There's only you, your companion, and the 2 Magellans suspended in a silent, empty void. Ahead of you, an enormous alien spacecraft looms. Its ancient hull is dark and uneven, a blend of sweeping architecture and twisted ridges as if it were grown rather than built, possibly organic in nature. Suddenly, you feel in your gut that drop like falling from a great height. The stars snap back into place. You're someplace else now. You and the 2 Magellans. In the distance hangs a lone planet bathed in the light of a pale, distant sun. And orbiting that planet is that same massive alien starship. But it's not entirely here. It's phasing in and out of reality.
Well, Magellan's still not go power, so they can't really talk to me, so I guess get back to the ship.
Okay, yep. So give me control and con.
Is this space for maneuvering in space?
Yes.
Okay, so I have control of 9, con of 2, that's 11. That might be enough. Nope, 1 success.
You're a little disoriented, but you make it back to the airlock of the Magellan. You and our unnamed red shirt, who, he deserves a name for crying out loud. We can't keep calling him red shirt.
He has to survive the episode. Or no, when he gets a name, that means he's definitely going to die. If he doesn't have a name, he's more likely to survive at this point.
So you haul in the manifold. I imagine it can't fit in the airlock. You'll probably bring it in through the
shuttle bay.
The shuttle bay doors, yep. So what are you guys doing?
I guess I'll get some other engineers to help me haul this and then send someone up to the bridge to tell them, because they might not know what's going on apart from, can't necessarily see anything.
Yeah, they're blind as a bat.
Yeah. So I'll send the random red shirt who was out with me up to the bridge to go tell the captain what's outside, basically. Then haul this thing down to Rhodes and the engineering.
Okay. Holtz.
Yes.
You are now free to take an action.
Okay, so let's think. What can we do? I guess there's no point in me shooting the thing because that's not really going to help. What I could do, where I'm here in engineering, can I operate a way of teleporting them off the... Can I do that from here, or do I need to really go to sort of like...
You want to transport them off the ship?
Yeah. Transport off. Is that something I can do from
You can't really do it from engineering, no.
Okay, right, okay.
But also, because they're sort of phasing in and out of reality, you'd doubt you'd be able to get a sensor lock.
Okay. If I'm going to get a chance to do something, I'm going to hail the other Magellan. I'm going to slap my communicator open, and I'm going to shout into the communicator. I don't know who it's going to or who's going to answer it, but just in sort of the whole panic, I'm going to shout, "Get rid of Korby's stuff. Get rid of Korby's information and any kind of records. Just delete everything. Delete it now. Delete it now." And I'm going to be backing off as I'm sort of screaming and shouting. I'm fumbling for my phaser. This isn't really kind of what Sarah Holtz has signed up for.
Yeah, exactly.
So she's sort of backing up.
You're backing up toward the stairs that go to the upper level, and out of the corner of your eye, you think there's a person up there.
Okay. Well, I'll go that direction then.
Okay, so you run up the stairs, and Blank, you see Holtz running up the stairs. Your phaser didn't have any effect on these creatures.
I think I'm gonna try shooting again if I can, because I kind of because I know that this creature is blinking. So okay. I'm guessing I just blink. The shot went through when it was blinking. So I'm gonna try again.
Okay, go
I'm
ahead.
trying to cover the retreat of Sarah.
Okay, go ahead and give me that roll.
The success is 2, damage is 3.
Okay, so this time, as it was phasing in, you struck it. There was a little bit of electricity that sparks off of it, but you haven't heard it at all, it seems. Holtz, you see on the second level, sort of right above where the main warp manifold is, Dr. Korby, or what remains of Dr. Korby. He's fused into the housing of this alien device that's been wired into the engine. His body is partially merged with the metal, and there are tubes and wires that are threaded through his head and his torso.
I'll run over to him, and I will put my hand on potentially his shoulder, who knows. Dr. Korby.
Who are you?
I'm Lieutenant Holtz from the Magellan. How did you get here?
I don't recall. Did we make it?
We're being boarded by some very large interdimensional phasing in and out creatures.
His eyes go wide, and he's like, you mustn't look at them.
Okay. Well, can we do anything to them?
Mustn't look at them. And then his voice kind of becomes mechanical, and it says, entanglement drive, reboot, successful, transit, completed. And then he just sort of stares into space.
I'll open up my communicator. Captain, I've got Dr. Korby here, and he says something about something's completed. I'm not really sure where we are, and help, please, Captain.
You mean, Lieutenant, are you ready? Are you communicating to Maris on the bridge, or to...
No, to...
Your captain on the other...
my captain, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I've got my hailing frequencies open, so whoever's listening, whether it's a shipboard or to anyone who's on that frequency, I guess is probably what she's doing.
So Maris and Captain Karth, Azareth, you both get this message from not Dr. Travis, from Lieutenant Holtz.
Holtz, this is Maris. What kind of device? What are you talking about?
Korby's fused with sort of the ship, and the large creatures that had the multiple eyes have boarded the vessel. Henry's Ensign Blank's dealing with them now, but I don't think we're having any effect. And they're coming to get us. Apparently, Korby says, don't look at them. I don't really understand what that means. I think we've kind of changed position, because Korby said that we'd moved from one place to another.
We have changed position. We're trying to ascertain where we are at the moment. I would do exactly what Dr. Korby says. Don't look at them.
Okay. In which case, she then screams, Blank, don't look at them!
What do you do, Blank?
I will go up the stairs.
Okay.
Just to kind of change position and try to cover Sarah. And then I will shoot at them again with my phaser.
Okay. So you are not listening.
I'm not really looking at them. I'm just shooting at them.
So are you shooting by, are you turning your head away from them?
No, but I don't look at their eyes. I'm just pointing at their body and shooting.
Try lethal this time.
No, I'm gonna keep it because, I don't know, this might be intelligent, right? So it's control or daring?
Control.
One success. So
okay.
Nothing.
Yeah.
I'm just running and shooting, just trying to cover us.
Right, you're running and shooting, your phaser just hits the bulkhead, and now one of them is standing opposite those stairs that go up to the second level of the engineering deck. Let's go to the bridge for a minute. The bridge of the alternative Magellan. Lieutenant Maris and Stiles. On the main viewer, your Magellan is there listening nearby. It seems to have made the transit intact, and there's this planet. You're not in orbit, but you appear to be in some star system.
Stiles, we need Stiles to run a check on the position of the stars to see exactly where we might be in relation to our previous position.
Me? Oh, okay, Commander. I guess Stiles goes up to the navigation, and then she's like, "Okay, how does this work? What do I need to figure this out?"
Reason and science.
Okay, that is 11 with no focuses.
And the ship is going to help you. Difficulty is going to be 0.
Do we want to roll, or do we want to just take the success? Rolling has not helped us very much. We could just succeed.
Let's just succeed. Let's just succeed.
Let's succeed.
You tie into astrometrics from the navigation console, and you determine the star positions place you in a star system roughly 100 light years from the edge of Federation space. The ship's computer identifies it, though you're not sure how this ship could possibly identify a system that no Earth vessel has ever been to, that could ever reach. You don't have the warp capacity to be out in space for that long. It identifies it as the Boreth system.
Yeah, Commander, it looks like we're near the Boreth system.
And it's referencing some sort of classified data from Project Cradle that appears to be in your database.
To call up that information.
I assume it requires a password or something.
No, it actually doesn't.
Does it not? Ooh.
Apparently the senior staff of this version of the Magellan had clearance.
Okay, I'll put it up on the view screen. Or on the monitor for the commander.
Okay, so what are we looking at?
The subject of the file is recall order and site classification. It's from Dr. Korby. And it says, following my request, Starfleet has ordered the immediate recall of the archaeological team from Corella 4. The excavation site, along with all related research, has been classified as top secret pending further investigation. I have now arrived at the planet and reestablished communication with command. Among my findings at the crash site, I have uncovered references to a planet called Boreth. If the translations are accurate, these references are filled with reverence, marking it as a site of critical discovery. I now suspect that the proto-mentis may actually represent the universe itself. Rather than being a byproduct of the brain, intelligence could be a fundamental property of the universe. The evolution of this primordial intelligence into a corporeal form may have first occurred on Boreth. The location of this planet must be found. And then the second file is a personal log from Dr. Korby. Saurian star charts confirm the location of Boreth, far beyond the boundaries of charted space. At our present warp capabilities, the journey would span at least 5 years. No starship in the fleet is equipped to make this trip without incurring catastrophic risks to both crew and systems. After the incident at Cradle Station, we discovered something crucial. The boundary between realities is not fixed, and it can be crossed. This revelation can open new possibilities for space travel, beyond the limitations of our current warp drive. Fortuitous, then, that the entanglement drive offered a solution. I regret the means by which we acquired it, but it was a necessary evil. Originally designed for instantaneous relocation between pre-established quantum-linked anchor points, the drive's utility is constrained by its dependence on infrastructure. Without anchor buoys in place, it cannot function. An elegant system undone by its own limitations. A classic paradox. To travel somewhere instantly, one must first have been there. I attempted to solve this problem by making careful modifications to the entanglement drive, pushing the system beyond its intended parameters using unconventional means. The result, a quantum fissure, a breach in the boundary between realities. I believe this fissure may provide direct access to the proto-mentis. Phase 2 begins, initiating contact protocols. If contact fails, the fissure may still serve a secondary purpose. Preliminary analysis suggests it could act as a subspatial conduit, enabling near-instantaneous transit to Boreth using the entanglement drive. Reaching Boreth is critical to the success of Project Cradle. It is there that we will find the home of the Proto-Mantis, an intelligence woven into the very fabric of the universe.
I mean, you can't go wrong doing that, surely.
Right. So, all right. I need to talk to Holtz. Holtz,
Yes, sir?
is there something down there that looks like it doesn't belong? A device.
If you mean Korby fused with some weird, like, electronic stuff, yeah, I'd probably say that's something that doesn't belong.
That's an entanglement drive. You must disconnect it or destroy it.
Okay.
I don't have time to explain. Find a way to disconnect it or destroy it.
What do you reckon? Insight and engineering for this?
Yes, insight and engineering.
I've got no focuses I can use. Complication range, just one as default.
No, I'm going to give you a complication range of
2. Okay. Let's see. I don't think there's anything else I can do.
You could spend threat
me.
to get a dice, I suppose.
Yeah, you could do that.
Would be the...
Because, we don't need any enough threat. Why not? Yeah.
I mean, you could shoot the thing. You could start just randomly pulling out wires. I mean, what exactly are you doing?
I want to see what the best way to sort of like disable it without completely damaging it, because we might need it later on.
Okay.
So I figure rather than completely destroy it, if there's a way to sort of like essentially turn it off. If not, then I'm just going to shoot it with my face. But until then, I just want to kind of see if there's a way to sort of disable it without destroying it completely. And yeah, you can have a point of threat, and I'll give myself an extra dice.
You do have a talent called Push the Limits. Let's see. That's a con.
I have. It's for cons, so it doesn't really kind of help me, unfortunately.
And you don't have any values.
I was trying to blag it, but it's nothing that I can really give you, I'm afraid. Okay. So here we go. Please do something better than I have done before. 1 success with 3 dice.
You're hesitant to touch this thing. Like, you're worried that if you start messing with some of these wires and levers that you might just blow the ship up. Like, you're not really sure. You've never seen this device before. You have no knowledge you don't know what an entanglement drive is. You have this technology doesn't exist as far as you're concerned.
Okay, so, all right, hold. We also need to consider whether or not it's going to affect Dr. Korby, I suppose, but it's a risk we're going to have to take. Cut power to it. If you can't destroy it, if you're not sure how to disengage it from the warp drive, cut power.
How to what?
The device.
I'm looking, but I can't seem to find a way to see how it kind of is connected. It's all kind of fused together.
If it's hooked into the warp drive, disengage the warp drive. Shut it down.
Well, the warp drive isn't on yet.
It's not
the warp
on
drive's
yet.
not on.
Right.
Okay.
Because you guys have to do a cold start on the warp drive.
So it kind of goes into the ship itself. I don't really know. I mean, I could try and see if I can get around. I look back and see the 2 creatures by the consoles. I'll see if I can try and shut down any kind of energy coming to engineering, but then won't that cause a problem with any kind of maneuvering, that kind of thing? I mean, I know there's that. the Romulans are out there, so.
Well, we're in a different section of space.
What?
I don't have time to explain. We've been shifted to another area of space. Don't have time to explain. The Romulans aren't a threat at the moment. They're not here. If you could find where the power is coming into that system, cut that power. We can worry about maneuvering later.
Sure. I'll see what I can find.
So, Sarah Holtz, you looked back to sort of gauge where those aliens were, and that was the first time you realized that the entire time your back was to them, you couldn't hear that insect chittering noise. And when you turned to look, the sound came back. And
as soon as I turned to look to see where they are, then I remember that Dr. Korby said don't look, and I kind of looked back away from where they are.
Right. Mr. Blank, what are you doing?
I'm guessing I'm going up the stairs, and I see, Korby there, like, fused to the metal, I guess. And I'm kind of struck by it, and what's going on, Sarah? What is this?
We need to find out how it connects to the ship. We need to disable any kind of energy going into the entanglement thing that Korby called it, some kind of drive thing.
And what about these things?
We just need to see if we can find a way of disentangling it from the ship, and without, I guess, hurting Dr. Korby, although Dr. Korby doesn't look like in any fit state to be doing anything anyway. I think they look like they kind of won. It's weird. If we can find a way of disengaging it, I don't know how. It just looks...
not an engineer. I'm just security. And I turn around to look at these things, where they are.
The same thing happens to you. So as your back was to them and you were talking to Holtz and looking at Dr. Korby, the sound that they were making was gone. And then as soon as you turned around, the sound is there again. And you see one of them just standing by the foot of the stairs. You don't know where the other one is at the moment.
So not really chasing us then?
No.
Okay.
And Dr. Korby, in that moment, he sort of comes back to life, essentially, and he grabs Holtz by the shoulders, and he goes, I was wrong. They're not the intelligence I thought they were. And then he collapses again.
What? I'm really confused.
What is the characters who have no idea what's going on? They haven't been involved in any of this.
So I'm guessing Henry Blank doesn't know how to disengage this entanglement thingy because he's not an engineer.
He could give it he can certainly give it a try.
No, but I don't even know what to do. I mean, I'm asking if Henry Blank even has an idea what he will need to do.
There's a lot of cross-pollination in like the academy. So you have some knowledge of, engineering, you have some knowledge of science and things like that. So like, you could do daring and engineering to try to sort of just look at it and figure out how you might shut the power off on this thing without damaging anything.
Okay,
and
I'll do that.
You can get an assist from Holtz as well to give you an extra.
Yeah, I'm thinking
boost.
too much into it. You're just going to like daring and get some grips.
We'll just do it then. Okay, so can I get?
Has been an alien ship.
Yeah, so I take a die. How does it work?
How does what work?
I mean, for the help from Holtz.
She'll roll a die on her own, and you roll your 2 dice. Holtz rolls 1 die.
So we use daring, shall we?
Nothing.
The bad rolls keep coming, folks.
See what I can do.
It got 1.
Well, what was the difficulty, Marco?
The difficulty is 2.
Well, that's a math.
Yeah.
Yes, so literally impossible.
Yeah, I've got 1 success.
Yeah, you're not sure, Blank, how to disengage the power from this thing. But the 2 of you do think that once you got main power back online, that's when this thing turned on, right? So somehow, even though it is connected to the engines, to the warp engines, which are off, it is being fed by the main power system of the ship. And you're not sure what the warp engines might do to the entanglement drive once it's on, but it appears that it functions without the warp engines because as Lieutenant Commander Maris said, you've just transited somewhere to a different system.
Sir, I say as I put my communicator back up to Maris, we can't seem to find a way to do it. So, with your permission, I'm going to shoot it.
Can we just cut power for the moment? Can we cut power for the moment?
Okay, I'll do my best.
Commander, I wouldn't recommend cutting main power. There's an unknown ship out there, and we don't know what its intent is. If we cut the power here, we'll be dead in the water, much like the other Magellan.
1 moment, Styles. Has the unknown ship made any sort of aggressive moves?
I guess I'll go back to Tactical Marco and go and see what I can find out about this other ship that is out there.
Yeah, you can't make sensor contact with it. You see the ship on the main viewer, but your sensors tell you that it's not there.
I'm not picking up anything, Commander. It's as if it's like a ghost, a sensor ghost or something. But it's there on the view screen. But it doesn't appear to be doing anything. It just seems to be sitting in its place at the moment.
Right. Okay, well, let's hold off on shooting the entanglement drive just for a second. Maybe let's try some science here.
More than welcome to come down, sir.
No, you hold on for a minute. Stiles and I are going to look at trying to find out if we can establish some sort of sensor contact by using a tachyon beam. So, would that be a roll from me?
Yeah, well, let me know what are you trying to do with the tachyon beam?
We're trying to see if we can establish physical contact, a sensor lock on it, but using a tachyon beam.
On the alien ship.
On the alien ship, yeah.
Like a sonar ping, maybe, or something like that?
Yes, exactly. Reason and science.
Yeah, reason and science. Styles, what can you provide in terms of assistance?
I suppose I could do something engineering-wise if Commander's telling me what to do.
Yeah, that makes sense. Maris, you can use, quantum mechanics. I was thinking also you've got a value here that says sensors can't tell you everything.
Everything, right.
Right? So if you want to use that to... you already spent your determination, didn't you? Yes, you did. So
yes, I did.
For you to get another determination back, you need to challenge a value.
or take a complication by sticking to your guns.
But I'm using a focus, though, aren't I?
Yeah, you are. Yep.
Yeah. Is that 2 dice?
Correct. Yes.
Right. Complication range?
Normal.
Default. Okay. Right. So
It's technically assisting as well.
Yes.
We're doing this with the ship, so that's 4 dice if it's assisting, and Styles assisting. Yeah.
okay. So I'm rolling. So shall I roll my 2?
Let's see what happens if someone want to roll for the Magellan before we
I'll roll for the
write off
alternate.
this as everyone dead.
I'll roll for the alternate Magellan. So I'm doing what would be good here: sensors and science.
For crying out loud, Styles. That's 2 complications so far.
Right. So for the ship, I'm using focus as well. Yeah.
Yep, and 1 dice.
And one dice.
Complication range of 3.
Complication range of 3. Okay, let's change that there. Here we go. Happy hunting.
For crying out loud. That's 3 complications.
Okay. Hit me.
Would we like to give Marco some threat to take it away? I think we'd have to give him like 6 threat to take all of that away.
No, it's 1 threat per complication, right?
I think it's 2 actually.
No, you're right. It is 2.
Oh, crap.
It's
What
quite
are-
pricey.
What are our complications?
Well, when it's decided, we can't really spend to get rid of them.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
You did
Okay.
before, right?
I see.
So, do we want to maybe just like get rid of 2 of them and hope that the one left doesn't completely screw us over too bad?
I reckon the very large, weird, phasey ship is plenty enough threat, surely.
Yeah.
Like, Marco can choose just to convert all that complications into threat anyway, but that's his choice. So it's a case of, do we want to give him more threat on the off chance that he's just going to make a bunch of complications, or just assume that he doesn't want to think of complications and he'll just be like, I'll just take threat.
So what do we think? Should we just use the threat to make it go away?
It's a lot of
I'm
threat.
saying,
What do you say, Ed?
Tony,
I would say we can get rid of 1 complication.
I think get rid of 2 complications.
Get rid of
and
yeah.
keep 1.
Yeah.
So then
Okay.
we-
Not everything.
Get rid of
then
2
he's going to have
complications.
12
Okay.
threat, right? But we were on 10 before. So what's
However-
2 more?
Yeah. Like, yeah. Okay. So we'll keep 1 complication. Give
So what's
then
gonna
4
be-
threat. Give
Right. Okay.
There's going to be some kind of issue with the sensors, right?
Okay.
I will not say anything, because when I do, Marco gets ideas. So, Marco, you're on your own. You have to think up your own complications this time.
Half of this entire season has been developed from Douglas's big mouth. Okay, so sorry, I was reading the sensor complications table in the brand new 2nd edition technical manual.
Woo, snazzy.
Snazzy, yes. So, what was your plan?
We were going to leave only 1 complication and use threat to get rid of 2.
4 threat to you.
Lovely. So, I've added 4 to the threat pool. Your complication is going to be that now, instead of your sensors not being able to make contact with the alien craft at all, it is now registering multiple alien crafts all over the star system.
Maybe. Are those ships... So if we can't make a sensor lock on this ship, we won't be able to make them on the other ones. They could be a part of these aliens. They could have something to do with them. What do you think?
I don't know why you're asking me, sir. Korby's just said he doesn't think they are the intelligence that they think they are, but he is kind of fused with like the warp reactor and the rest of the ship, so I'm probably not really going to trust anything he has to say.
Right. Okay. Well, I think the only option that I see right now, unless you've got any other ideas, is to go with your gut reaction of shooting it.
Okay,
All right, so you're setting your phaser to kill, and you're going to shoot.
going to put it on. Yeah, I guess so. Have some more threat.
Whatever you do, don't miss and hit the warp drive.
Well, I kind of point away from the warp drive, right? Yeah. And kind
So-
of do.
You,
I take it
Do Luke it when you're
in
shooting.
in the 22nd century, you don't have like you can't put it on like because in a lot of the other episodes they can kind of turn it into sort of like essentially a tool to like cut stuff away, like a heat thingy majig.
Yeah, I
and they
don't think
do
they
that
have that.
here because they're pistols at the moment, aren't they? So
Yeah,
they're
they
like
don't have
phase
that.
Pistols.
I know, like Scotty did it in the Next Generation. I think when he was cutting through a bulkhead to open a door.
But it's
TOS.
not really.
Yeah.
TOS. I mean, I'm sorry, not Next Generation.
That's like
yeah,
quite
I
a
don't
while
think.
ahead.
Yeah, that's like 100 years in the future. I
Again,
don't-
if you're looking for a tool like that, it's probably going to be an engineering somewhere.
I'm just going to basically take a couple of steps back and say to Blank, let's just aim at that part there, and I aim at a random part that's away from, that's attaching.
I mean, it's essentially
to the.
It's essentially point blank range. There's no need to roll. You shoot the entanglement drive / Dr. Korby, and they vaporize.
Okay.
And that is when Blank notices that the creatures are gone. And we'll switch for a moment to the crippled Magellan. We haven't caught up with them in a while.
I wonder what the captain's doing.
Yeah, we got the captain, we've got the doctor in sick bay, we've got Rhodes. Rhodes is probably dealing with the manifold.
Well, some red shirts about to go tell the captain everything that just happened outside.
Yeah, I think not much. I think Captain Carr is just making sure that everything is getting fixed as fast as possible and trying to, organize the crew and provide support and, whatever. I think my character has this, this focus for lead by example or decisive leadership. So I'm having my values like good leaders get their hands dirty. So I'm guessing I step out of my chair and I'm actually helping, either fixing things or helping somewhere else where I can be of use, not just being sitting on my chair and bridge. That's why perhaps I was not so responsive.
Yeah. You got your sleeves. You've rolled up your sleeves, and you're in there with the rest of the technicians, and you're fixing what needs to be fixed. Rhodes, so the Dehner has brought in the manifold. What are you doing with it?
So I said that if we could replace this would probably help getting the engines back on.
Yes.
Is that going to help, Marco?
Yes, probably.
What do you mean, probably?
I mean, you might roll 20s, I'm not sure. I mean, that seems to be what's been happening for the last, 3 episodes.
Is my logic sound as in it will give me some sort of advantage than just straight fixing it?
Yes.
Fire. Okay. Then yeah. Okay. So yeah, it'll be a case of trying to just repair to get the ship on power again.
So you're swapping out your impulse manifold for the other one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you're doing some damage control.
Well, I assume this would be part of the damage control because it's bypassing systems by using anything to bypass.
By the way, I looked up. I was trying to find exactly what a impulse manifold looked like and how big it was.
It's a big thing.
I couldn't find any picture of it, so I have no idea how you're going to haul this thing into a tiny corridor and get it. I don't know how.
You can say it's a part. It's like a conduit, an important part of it, or something, rather than the whole thing.
Yeah, or you can do it on the outside, right?
It's like an EPS thing.
You've already got a bunch of holes in your ship. You can just go on the outside into your spacesuits and plop it in.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, we'll probably just wire it directly into the drive rather than just in engineering, because we're just doing this all bespoke rather than just trying to get it in pretty. We're just literally hooking it up with crocodile clips.
Yeah, so you have 4 breaches currently. So you got reaction control thrusters and blown out shield generators as traits as well.
So 4 breaches. 3 of them are engines, I believe. And one is
all 4 are engines.
All 4 engines. So I need to get it down to 2 breaches before we're not disabled. Power goes back on. So I need to resolve at least 2 of the breaches of the damage control. Right. Which, at this point, because when a single system has damage against it, that increases the difficulty by 1 every single time, from a difficulty of 2. So we're at max difficulty of 5, because I don't think you can go up to 6 difficulty.
Correct, you can.
So, okay. So I literally can't succeed on 2 dices to get 5 successes. It's physically impossible. And rolling dices has not worked for us at all. Right. So, I have an idea what I'm going to do. However, it does involve making a deal with the devil / GM.
How dare you call me the devil?
So,
you love
I will need some determination to be able to hopefully pull this off.
Okay.
So, Marco, I'm going to make you a deal. So, I have the value of make do with what you have. So, I am going to make take a complication against that. I am going to dismantle the broken shield array and cannibalize the parts for the engineering for the system.
Okay.
That will basically, like, the shields are done until we can, replace all the parts.
Okay.
So that would that be acceptable as a complication, or making do with what I have to get a determination?
So the complication is that you're essentially making it impossible to have shields.
Unless we, get completely new parts.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
Yep.
Fine. Right.
So make a note of that, Mr. Engineer.
Yep. So shields, done. Can I spend that determination and whatnot in this task? Doing the most things don't go to plan, because this is a real bodge job of, not ideal situations and making do.
Okay.
So, I believe under the determination, it is... It's not the successes, but it is the special skill. Okay. Special technique on 262. So that would give me use of a single talent that I don't currently possess. And that talent remains for the rest of the scene as long as I meet the prerequisites for the talent.
Oh, I like that.
Okay, so the talent I would like to use is, I believe it is Maintenance Expert, which basically means if I get a complication, I can ignore the first complication on a roll.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so, but I also have the one that is, no pain, no gain, which allows me to automatically succeed at a daring task, which this would be, on a case of taking a complication. However, the maintenance would cancel out that complication. If you can call me out of my bullshit, Marco, because anytime you want.
No bullshit.
So basically, based on all this bullshittery, I can roll, but then even if I fail, I succeed without complication as long as I don't roll a 20.
All right, have at it.
Okay. So this was the contingency plan.
420s, here we go.
Which I was like, there's a lot of bullshit going on here. So I failed, but I'll take the success, but then I cancel out the complication. So I succeed. Then I would also like to spend some threat to repair another breach.
Using the rugged design talent of the ship?
Using the rugged design, which can get me up to 2 breaches, which will get us below the scale rounded up, which will mean systems come back online.
So you've gone from 4 breaches to 2, is that correct?
So we're no longer critical damage unless something else happens. But if something else happens and we take another breach, we just die instantly anyway. So main power is restored.
That now the original miracle worker here has...
Yeah, like I can only do this once. Please don't do anything else. Because I had to pull up so much bullshit to make this even work.
So while all the other stuff is going on with the other Magellan and the alien ship and the aliens and Dr. Korby and the entanglement drive, you have managed to get some breaches patched. The engines are back. You've got power back, but your shields are down permanently for the foreseeable future.
Now, if we have multiple 6 hours, I can actually repair breaches.
Right.
But that's dedicated time, which we haven't had.
Right. And you have that, so you have that reaction control thruster, the damage to the reaction control thrusters that need to be addressed. But other than that, yeah, you're Captain Karth Azareth. You see the lights coming on going from like the really dim emergency lighting to sort of normal lighting. The vents start blowing air again, because remember you had shunted the last of your life support.
Congratulations, Steve. I mean, Lieutenant Rhodes. Well done. And I guess I was there.
It's literally holding together with tape.
Yeah, I guess I was with him, because I have also 3 engineering, so probably I went down to help as soon as I saw the manifold coming through. So I went down and I put myself just to work. And then I'm just running back up to the bridge just to see what is the situation around us.
Yeah,
give me sensors, give me everything.
So on the bridge, the main viewer comes to life. You see that you're in this, you're no longer in the debris field. There's no Romulan ship. You're in some star system. There's the other Magellan is with you. There's an alien vessel orbiting around this planet, but that vessel is sort of phasing in and out of reality. Your sensors can't lock on it. I believe that's about it. I believe that's all you know at the moment. Dr. Travis, been a while.
So Dr. Travis has been sitting in his med bay. He has been looking at Dr. Korby. He was performing an autopsy on poor old, what's his name? Pug, and has obviously got all the information from all that and has sat down. He's since had information turn up on his pad, which was read out earlier. He had information from Dr. Korby that seems to have like turned up, which is weird because Korby's in front of me. And so I've been kind of sitting down, really kind of trying to figure out what we could do, what's going on, how's things happening. I've been listening to the intercoms and sort of like all the transmissions, and I guess I've kind of like figured maybe what we could do to stop all this is to get rid of the entanglement of the fissure, because the fissure is the thing that's causing the problem, right? So I figure, and I've kind of figured this in my brain, that it's not really my wheelhouse, but I figure if we send the old Magellan into the fissure and we use the warp core to do an antimatter detonation, that potentially could, using graviton and subspace resonant tuning, could potentially close the fissure. But it means that we would be stuck on this side of the fissure.
You thought all that up by yourself in sickbay. That's amazing.
I was like, what? Where? Who? I've just been like putting all the pieces together and thinking, well, that could be a thing.
Did you have any conversation with the Dr. Korby that's in your sickbay?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I've probably kind of posed him sort of like some questions and stuff and whether or not he's... So I've kind of come... That's what I've kind of figured. I've looked at him and gone, I'm thinking this. So I've been pacing around the sick bay, talking to Dr. Korby, but not really talking to him, just kind of like posing questions, but not really listening to the answers.
Did you mention the information on your pad?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And may I see it?
It's just, yeah, sure.
How did you come by this information?
It's all very complicated. It's to do with interdimensional stuff, and
some of these logs are not. I don't even remember writing them, and
I don't think it was you. I think it's another you that did that.
Interesting.
So clearly, whatever's in here will happen to you in the future, or another you. I don't really know how that sort of stuff works, but potentially, I suppose, if you have figured it out before, you now could potentially figure it out now? Does that make sense?
I'm afraid it doesn't, Doctor. I think you're out of your depth.
I think I spent too much time with Lieutenant Commander Maris. I don't know. I'm kind of... I think maybe that might be a thing. It's not really my thing, really.
He sort of pats you on the back and says, stick to medicine.
Well, yeah. As soon as I see that everything then starts to kind of like come online, I'll kind of like take my brain away from that and suddenly start talking, asking if there's any trauma, is there anyone coming to sickbay? Do I need to get some medical personnel out?
Yeah, no, there are no wounded coming in. A lot of tired crewmen though who've been working around the clock to fix the ship.
Everyone gets stimulants except for Steve. Yeah, I'll kind of communicate with the captain. Captain, what do you want me to do with Korby? He looks confused, and he is just really sitting here not doing very much.
Need to send him back in any case. This Korby was the one from the alternative reality, right?
I think so.
No, I mean, this is... The captain is not saying this, but just made me think about it now, because we left one back before the fissure.
One's dead.
There was one on the entanglement thingy, and then we have another one.
3 at this point.
Exactly. Well, so okay. Well, what I will tell you is keep him right there. I mean, we don't know where he comes from, what he wants. So I don't want him going around. We just got energy on the ship. I need to get it moving and get us out of this pickle.
Okay, well, I'll hang on to him.
You have security with you? Do you need security?
No, I'm sure I can handle him. It's fine.
Very good. I will contact the other alternative ship because that's where I sent Lieutenant Commander Maris. Status report, Lieutenant Commander Maris. Where are we?
Well, we had the ship's fine. We had a little incident with some interdimensional beings. There was a version of Dr. Korby fused with a machine called an entanglement drive, he called it, and we successfully got rid of it, disintegrated it. But of course, the third Korby went with it, and so the beings are gone.
What do you mean, third Korby?
Yeah, there was another Dr. Korby, but he was fused with the entanglement machine. Whether purposefully or not, I'm not sure.
Did you manage to check from which reality? So as far as we know, we had 2 realities connected now.
Well, there must be a third reality, and it wouldn't be beyond imagination to think that, considering what we're dealing with an entanglement drive. But he is gone, as well as the entanglement drive. This ship is up to full power. We're going to need to get the warp engines back online. We have weapon systems and no shields just yet, but we'll be working on it.
Did you check from what reality your ship is? Is this ship from the third reality, the second reality? Is this the one that we might need to, disentangle from to go back to where we come from?
Yeah, you know that this is the ship that your ship is entangled with, yes.
Okay. So, how do we do this, Lieutenant Commander Maris? You're the Chief Scientific Officer. What should we do?
Yeah, Maris, you have that report from the lab that has its findings as well, that you haven't had time to go over or to discuss with the senior staff since everything has been so hectic. But you do have that information available to you.
I will share this with you, Captain, and you can share it with the crew. They deserve to know.
Have we had this before or not?
We had some ideas before.
Yeah, so you had like the first part about the ship being quantum locked with another starship. Maris, when he was in the physics lab, made that determination along with the consequences. But the proposed solution was something that was going on in the background that took a while for the scientists in the lab to put together.
Captain is wondering, because it does mention that in order to disentangle the ships, this fissure is located in a fixed spatial coordinate shared across both universes, and it seems like it's an uncharted star system approximately 100 light years away. Are we there?
I think we're there.
I don't recognize the space here. I'm asking you, Lieutenant Commander Maris. Could this be the location? Do we have sensors on this fissure?
Yeah, the computer systems of the alternate Magellan have a very similar science briefing, and it confirms that Boreth is that fixed point.
Perfect. In that case, I think we should discuss about the next steps of what we should be doing. I mean, your proposed solution sounds good, but I would like to bring it up to all the senior crew. Do we have transporters working?
Yes.
So in that case, and there is no immediate threat, right? I mean, from what I can tell by the sensors, I mean, there are these ships outside or this ship outside, but doesn't seem like threatening us or anything.
We need to identify the fissure's anchor point so we can collapse the anomaly. Will destroying the fissure's anchor point pull the alternate Magellan back into its own reality?
Theoretically, that's possible, Maris, but you don't have enough information to know definitively one way or the other.
I will ask you, Maris, how do we do the synchronized quantum feedback pulse?
Both ships will need to emit the synchronized quantum pulse at the exact same time, at the exact same point. That will collapse the anomaly. We could use the deflector array to create a quantum feedback pulse.
Both ships can do this now, even ours?
I'm not sure about the repairs on your ship. You're going to have to ask the chief engineer, but our ship is ready to distribute that kind of power.
Okay, I want you to give us a full debrief right away and see if this can be done.
Okay.
I will call everyone to my briefing room, I guess.
We'll beam over right away.
Yeah, we need roads, and we'll have Travis just to see how things are.
And are you leaving anyone on the alternate Magellan?
I'm going to leave Styles and Holtz on the alternate Magellan.
Okay. And what about Blank?
Blank can come back with me.
Okay, so we'll switch to the briefing room in the in the actual Magellan.
Magellan Prime.
We have Lieutenant Commander Maris, Captain Carr at the Zareth. I imagine Chief Engineer Rhodes is there. Dr. Travis. What have you done with Dr. Korby?
What have I done with Dr. Korby? I would have got a science officer to stay, a security officer to stay with Dr. Korby.
You're still getting reports of every now and then a crewman not reporting for duty and either not being in their quarters or some other person being in their place. The way that you lost your nurse, Shax, and you now have Tillman.
Vulcan.
Yeah.
Shax who?
No, I'm pretty sure there was a Shax.
So I will wait until Lieutenant Commander Maris arrives. I guess for us it's faster to, and I will I will just tell you, all of you, we are in the star system of Boreth, where possibly we can disentangle this problem. But I will let Lieutenant Commander Maris explain you more about the plan, and I would like that we highlight if there is any risk at any level, either engineering risk or any other kind of risk, before we take any action.
What's this about disentanglement, Captain?
Yeah, we'll let Lieutenant Commander Maris explain a little bit more about what's the situation and what does entail. Lieutenant Commander Maris, please, if you will.
Right. To make it short, we are quantum entangled with different realities. Now, we can collapse the quantum entanglement, but first we need to discover where the anchor for the anomaly is, and then both ships simultaneously need to emit a synchronized quantum feedback pulse at that anchor point at the exact same time. So that means we're going to need to have this ship's sensor arrays and power up as much as we can possibly get without blowing any systems. The alternate Magellan, the other Magellan from another reality, we have full power, don't have warp capability yet, but we're ready to go pretty much to do that. The problem is I'm not sure if we could control the other Magellan's deflector dish remotely to send out that synchronized quantum feedback pulse. If not, somebody may need to stay behind and do it manually.
Need to be manually adjusted while it's going on, or does the pulse just have to happen?
We have to program the sensor arrays to emit a quantum feedback pulse, and then we synchronize them between the ships.
You could just put on a timer, I suppose, and then synchronize with, from here, whatever's going on over there.
What would be
happens if something
the
goes
risk
wrong?
Exactly. Thank you, Lieutenant Travis.
I mean, that could work as provided that we can maintain a lock on the timer. We don't know exactly what kind of effects the quantum field that's going to be generated by the sensor array could have. We could easily lose contact with the synchronization.
That moment you hear a scream from the bridge, and you see Emi Yamamoto. As you come out, she tells you she's sort of standing up. It looks like she sort of stood up from her chair in shock, and the same with Dalian over here at the tactics station. Commander Travis, the doctor's mother, vanished. She was at the science station, and she just disappeared.
Look behind to Lieutenant Commander Maris. Could this be the quantum? People are just shifting around.
Absolutely. There could be fishes could be moving around, sort of like a river and a stream, and you've got a whirlpool that moves around throughout the lake or the river system. It's moving, taking things with it as it goes.
We are putting in danger our crew as long as we keep this. We don't know if they will be back. We need to do this right now.
Doctor, have you shared with the captain that Shax has been replaced by Tillin?
I turn around and I just say, do you remember head nurse Shax, or do you remember a head nurse Tillin? I asked the general people that's on the bridge now.
What do we remember, Marco?
You remember Shax.
Remember a Tillin as well?
You know what? I'm going to say you remember both.
Okay.
I only remember one.
People keep missing and disappearing and turning up, and they're obviously someone else. So I think that some of the alternative universes or the other places are similar but not quite exact. Yeah. Well, I think that's why that head nurse Shax, who I'm pretty sure has been with me throughout my deployment, is no longer here, and some people can't remember him. And every day or every few hours, I can feel like some of the information is disappearing.
If Tillin came from this other Magellan, but there was no one else on the other Magellan, where did they go? Because I assumed they came from that Magellan, but maybe they didn't.
It's anyone's guess. They could have come from that Magellan. They could have all shifted into another reality. We don't know. There's no evidence for anything right now.
My proposition here would be to bring Dr. Korby from Med Bay. He comes from the other reality, and perhaps he could do this quantum disentanglement from the other Magellan.
I've shared all my information with him.
So does Pog, technically. By that logic, also comes from that universe.
Let's bring them over and try to see if... Korby is probably the one that should know more about this quantum entanglement besides Lieutenant Commander Maris. right?
The concern I have is, Commander Maris, if we undo this quantum entanglement, is that any guarantee that everything will come back?
There's never 100% guarantee in anything, but I do believe that this is the only solution to disentangle realities, closing the fissure. It will close the fissure. Disentangling the realities and whether or not missing persons will reappear again is anyone's guess.
Well, I would very much like to have my mother back, please.
Yeah. Maybe we probably should figure out if we are going to, because we might just be dooming them all to be stuck somewhere if we close the void, this fissure. And the other Magellan, I assume, would go back as well.
I'm assuming the other Magellan would disappear into its own reality, but the longer we delay, the more of our own crew members are going to disappear.
Yeah, I agree. We need to get this done. Bring Korby over.
Okay, and you notice your ship is moving, and sluggishly, but it's moving. And the officers at the helm tell you that they have no helm control. Someone has rerouted controls to the auxiliary control room.
Can you tell me who it is?
I'm locked out of all my systems, sir. I can't tell you.
But it has to be somebody on the ship.
Yes. Someone is controlling the ship from the auxiliary bridge.
Okay, so go with me. Take out my phaser.